Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. Welcome back to talking about statistics and probability. With this first section, we will be starting with study types. So there's three main types we're going to look at. The first one is a survey. So in a survey, there's going to be a direct question and answer. This might be in the form of paper or Google Forms online. Maybe I call or I do verbal somehow, but I directly ask the sample a question and I get a direct answer back. Observational is going to be where people are measured or observed without really knowing what's happening. So for example, I like the example that they give actually. If I put out a bunch of video games, I might watch to see which ones do you guys do the most. Or more relevant to what we're doing right now, I've been putting out a lot of different ways for you guys to earn your points, and I've been observing which way you guys like to get your points. So, for example, do you prefer to attend Looney Thursday or Word Problem Wednesday? So, which, by the way, the answer is Looney Thursday. Most of you attend that, but not very many of you attend Word Problem Wednesday. So, there you go. And then an experiment is where I will be having two, maybe three or four groups, and I will be making one specific change to each group. And again, I really like the example that they use, where a teacher administers a paper and pencil test, like what most of us are used to doing, and then another class gets a computerized test. Same questions, same everything, but it's on a computer instead, and then compare the scores and completion times to the two classes. So survey, direct question and an answer. Experiment, I am doing things on purpose and specifically changing something on the two groups. Observation, I just sit back and watch. Okay, so let's do a couple examples. We have some rats, and scientists study the behavior of two groups of rats to determine their reaction to sugar. So one group got food with sugar, the other group got food without sugar. Would this be a survey, observational, or experiment? Well, since I did specifically change that one group got sugar and the other group didn't, this one would be experimental. The city council wants to build a community recreational center. They call 1,000 random citizens asking if they would consider paying a fee to join if the center is built. Survey, observational, or experiment? That one would be survey. There was a direct question asked and a direct answer. Now, sometimes the way we ask questions can be biased. Basically, if the question is confusing or it encourages members to answer in a certain way or makes you have a strong reaction, or if it addresses more than one issue at a time, these can all be causes for something to be biased. So, first example, is your favorite ice cream flavor plain vanilla or delicious chocolate? By using the words plain and delicious, they are trying to persuade you to answer a certain way. Now, most of us are probably going to say whatever we want to say anyway, because that's not really a, big important question. But because because it uses language trying to encourage you to answer a certain way, that question is biased. B, what type or types of materials do you enjoy? Of reading materials do you enjoy? That one would be not biased. Here we go. Identify. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you like animals, and would you ever consider having a dog, a cat, or a hamster as a pet? That one is biased, and the reason is because it addresses more than one issue at a time. First off, do you like animals? Second off, would you consider having a dog, a cat, or a hamster as a pet? Okay. For example, right now I do like animals, but we aren't considering having a dog, a cat, or a hamster as a pet just because we don't have a house big enough for that, even though I know a hamster is small. But that's why that question is biased. Too many questions at once. How much time do you spend working on schoolwork each night? Biased or unbiased? That one is unbiased. Hey, we can even, the way we set up our experiments, even that can be biased. So, for example, we have a dog trainer who wants to test training speed with a new method. She selects 3 terriers as the control group and teaches a trick using her normal method. Then she selects 3 greyhounds as the experimental group and teaches the same trick using the new method. She then compares the training times. Identify if this is biased or unbiased. What do you guys think? I would say that this is biased, and the reason is she chooses, where is it, terriers in her first one, but greyhounds in her second one. But we don't know, I mean, we don't know a certain dog breed might be predispositioned to learn that trick better. Okay, for example, let's say the trick is to herd cattle. Well, she uses her 2 different methods, and her first group of dogs is, um, you know, a blue heeler, but the second group is a bunch of chihuahuas. Which group do you think is going to learn faster? So this one is definitely biased. She could have made it unbiased by selecting mixed breeds or sticking with the same breed for both groups. Okay, oh, ignore that. That's not your homework. A track coach wants to test whether new shoes that claim to increase speed will produce faster times for his runners. He randomly selects 5 runners as the control group and records their times throughout the season using their normal shoes. He randomly selects 5 runners as the experimental group, records their times throughout the season using new shoes. At the end of the season, he compares improvements made by each group. Biased or unbiased? This one is unbiased because it's just 5 random people in each group. He doesn't do like girls versus boys or anything like that. It sounds like it's mixed up. So that one is unbiased. Okay, your homework is going to be a Google form again. So, all right, have a good day.